Hello and welcome to Nobody Asked. It's the show nobody asked for, backed by popular demand. Demand. My name is Colin, and I'm her son.
Okay, I'm Maria. I'm his mom.
Yes. And today we're talking about Pete Hegseth's speech to the generals at Quantico. Where's Quantico?
Virginia.
Ah, Virginia. Is it near DC?
Probably.
Yeah,
It's not
true.
that. It's not that. It's not that long of a state. It's kind of wide. It's not that long of a state. So
Wide state. But DC is all the way on one side. That's
sure,
what they say. Um,
that's what they say. It's all on one side. The radical side. I don't know.
Wide state. Um,
You know what else is wide?
what?
I don't know. Pete Hegseth's fascination with. I don't know. Lethality.
His desire to splooge on the enemy.
I know, that's what I wrote. I did write that in a text message.
For shame. Yes. All right. Well, Mr. Hegseth, the director of the Department of War, called all the generals in. All the generals from
all of them.
around the world.
Admirals, generals, the whole kit and caboodle from all over the world, which
How
feels
many
weird.
admirals and generals are there?
I don't know,
Admiral
man.
feels like there'd be quite a few of them.
Not really. I mean, there's not that many admirals generally. I don't know
No?
exactly, what level up it was that he had there. They kept saying numbers like 800, but I'm like, that seems like a lot. But also, I have no idea. I have no idea how many people are there.
Well, they all looked ecstatic to be there, and which I mean, as military officers tend to, they're just an exuberant bunch. Those generals.
Listen, they're down to party. They just require like a large toilet full of grog, full of alcohol, that they have to force you to drink if you don't have your coin in your pocket or whatever magical thing they've decided is the rule for the day. So they can party.
They like to oh yeah, I'm sure that they can party, but not when they're attending a speech or something. They're just
right. Right, a speech where they're like, why are you calling me away from my command to do this speech? That kind of a situation. So, yeah. So I watched the whole speech today. I soiled my brain to do so that nobody else would have to. I mean, obviously it's your choice. It was his speech was only 45 minutes long. I will say his ability to give the speech was on point. Like he stuck to what he needed to say. It started off a little rough because at first he's in front of a podium, and he's doing your traditional, thank you for all coming, all of the bloppity blops and the bloopity bloops. And then he just out of nowhere steps away from the podium and starts walking around the stage. And so at first it was off-putting when he did that. But once you adjusted to it, it was like he was giving a TED talk is basically after he left the podium. But it was just sort of weird because it was a military thing. So he kind of starts off by saying that this is the end of the era for the Department of Defense, because now we are the Department of War. And this is a critically important difference and mindset, which he will bring up later. He gives a quote, and this quote is, "Those who long for peace should prepare for war." And I'm just going to tell you that it left me, this whole thing has left me uncomfortable listening to it, because it really feels like they really fucking want war. They want somebody to fight at all times. And it made me uncomfortable. I don't know that the senior leadership felt the same way, but it was something you could feel woven through it. He started talking about how we are all war fighters, and we are unrelenting in that pursuit. So he used a lot of these hot words to really try to rile up, the warrior spirit, although it riled the opposite in me. But
what's the opposite of the warrior spirit?
I don't know. The depressed, when will this end? Please just run me over with a tank now, spirit.
The pacifist ghost.
Let's see. He said, basically the way that we were doing things previously is wrong. And if you want to protect that mentality or be subservient to those ideas or any such things, and then you're gonna FAFO. He actually said FAFO, and then he told him, go look it up if you don't know what it means. And then he started going off about more. We need more. We need more soldiers, more weapons, more tech, more AI. The time is now to basically make the Department of War even more gigantic than it already is compared to other militaries. It has shrunk over the years compared to what it was for us, at least manpower wise. But that's going to go away. We want everything bigger. And then this was another prevailing theme was personnel is policy. So the type of people that are in the Department of Defense define what the culture and what the policy is like. And so they have already rooted out people that they didn't think were the proper culture, because you need the right people for the right culture. We've already rooted some of those out, and they'll continue to do so.
I'm sorry, just to jump in on that point. It has been so interesting to hear Republicans use liberal slogans over the last 2 months. Personnel is policy is like a leftist liberal ideology. It's just they're using it in the complete opposite way. Yeah, the whole idea of we want boardrooms to be diverse. We want racial and socioeconomic equity in hiring is essentially, in order to create lasting equity and equality, you need to inject a personnel populace with like-minded personnel, and that creates the ecosystem, the environment that perpetuates a more equitable environment. That is verbatim what people said in 2016, 2017 about DEI hiring policies, and now he's just using it for the exact opposite of DEI hiring policies.
Literally the exact opposite, but also the same, right? Because if you're saying if you want a diverse workplace, then you have to have a diverse workplace. He's saying basically we don't want a diverse workplace because this is the culture we want, which is strong warrior male mentality. He said that we are clearing out the debris, which is a lovely way to refer to people. And we will no longer be promoting for race, gender, for, hey, this is the first one of these that we've ever had that has met these wickets. We're no longer promoting for that. And because we became the woke department, which, it's another one of his little catchy things he likes to say. And for some reason, he squeezed something in about climate change. He says, no more climate change, no more dudes in dresses. I'm like, so I guess caring about climate change, he doesn't want electric tanks. He doesn't want any of that kind of stuff. We're just, diesel engines and, white dudes without beards. But he also said no more politics during this, while spouting some clearly political opinions. No more politics, because this is the politics. This is it. This is the line.
Yeah, I think that if you were to ask him, he would say that caring about it, he would say that he's professing a mentality of not caring about race and not caring about gender, which is an anti-politics. It's a non-political thing to deprioritize that. That would be his steelman argument for that.
Okay, I'm glad you got me there.
It's not the application that he's really bringing about, renaming the fucking Harvey Milk, that is clearly political to rename a boat. But it's political. It's political in the same way that renaming Fort Bragg is political, right? Is we're professing a politics through this policy, but
saying it's not politics. And then he started talking about this litmus test, and it is kind of an important litmus test. He's got a couple, but this is the first one, which is, would I want my 15-year-old son to join these ranks? So do I want him to join ranks where men are wearing dresses, where we're worried about somebody accusing us of X, Y, or Z, where, just any number of things you might have traditionally associated with the military that has kind of been culturally slowly removed from it. Would I want my 15-year-old son to join those ranks? That's his litmus test for everything, which is, listen, I don't actually view that as a not valid test, because I feel that deeply in myself right now. Your brother has graduated from college and he's searching for a job, and it just takes longer these days than it used to find something. And of course that makes you nervous. And your dad kind of in passing said, listen, I'm going to go talk to him, and if he can't find something, I'm going to have him see if he can go become an officer in the Air Force. And I'm like, please do not do that. Do not do that with this president, please. You know what I mean? Because to me, I don't want him anywhere near whatever this is going to turn into potentially, if something, if there's not pushback. So I actually find that litmus test to be valid. I just come to a different conclusion than he does. Okay, so as part of that litmus test, he doesn't want fat people, unfit people that don't have proper physical fitness. He doesn't want people that were promoted for reasons other than merit, which is another key word over and over again, merit. He doesn't want, females who can't meet the same physical assessment standards that men do. So we have to now meet those standards that were the same as men, which I could, when I was in the military, we did have different standards and people would complain about it, like, why do you get to do less? But it's not because, they like to say, well, if you have to carry your rucksack or your, all of your armor, all of your gun, whatever, you need to be able to do that just as much as a man can do it. But that isn't actually what the fitness test assesses. It is, what is the minimum requirement, to show that you are physically fit. And showing physical fitness for a woman looks different than showing physical fitness for a man. Asking me to run this far and this speed, a man might be able to do it, and be completely not fit, where it's going to take me, it might take me longer, but it would show that I was fit. It's just not the same. We have different bodies. And so proving my fitness is just different. Now, if you've got a specific job that requires you to have additional fitness standards, I don't object to that. I really don't. But this is just, it's such a, it's a childish way of looking at things. It reminds me of, when white teenage boys are like, why can't I say the N-word? He can say the N-word. Why can't I? I should be able to do everything. Or, how come I have to sign up for selective service and women don't? Listen, that actually is a more valid question to me.
It's a way more valid question. What are you talking about?
That's a more valid question than this physical, fitness assessment thing. But
okay, yeah.
That's what we're doing, where women have to now meet those standards, even if they are sitting in an office. It doesn't matter. Like, listen, half of the jobs in the military are not out on the battlefield. Sometimes you're at the hospital. You're a nurse. You're a doctor. You're a dental technician. Sometimes you're repairing equipment, which is what I did. I repaired electronics equipment and radios and radars on a boat. It's not it's not that serious. I mean, it's serious, but it's a different kind of serious.
You reminded me of, I remember for the presidential fitness test that you would do in like high school, I remember when the mile time got slower at a certain age for women, where it was like between 15 and 16.
Probably.
You had to run the mile more slow. Like the minimum speed was slower than it was when women were younger. And I remember all the boys being like, "Why? Wait, that can't be right." Whoa. And our gym teacher, who I love this gym teacher, just said, "Boobs." And started running.
I actually think, yep. I think boobs is actually the least part of it. I mean, for some people, boobs can be a problem while running, but it's really, once those hormones affect your body, you literally slow down. Like it's noticeable. Once puberty hits, it's just like, it doesn't matter how fast you will your body to go. It just doesn't. It just won't do it anymore. So
for like high school hormones?
Yeah, no, it probably happens. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, no, I definitely 100% thought it was boobs. I definitely thought it was just like those things are just make running harder.
I mean, do make running harder, but it can be solved with the right brassiere. I will say, some people that are really chesty, sometimes they got to wear two, because
Wow.
they're smacking them in the face. But most people aren't that chesties to get sidetracked on boobs.
Yep.
Okay. So
we got to have a little bit of joy in the podcast,
We do, because I did feel yucky after watching all of this.
Yep.
Okay, and so then he's talking about then he tells all of these senior officers that in their email boxes there's now going to be these new 10 directives for combat, and basically combat is going to be male only. End of story. He's adding combat field tests, which are, I guess, similar to Army expert fitness tests. And again, everything is gender neutral in that it's all at the male level, as we've already discussed.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another big deal. Generals, and all officers, every single person in the military, not just enlisted people, must now meet PT. They must PT test, so they have to have a physical test twice a year, and they'll have the weight and height requirements in there. So your BMI basically for officers, which is not something that they normally have to do. So now we're holding them to a higher standard as well.
Good.
And he also says everyone must PT, so that's physical training. That's your exercising every single day, and hot yoga doesn't count. Stretching doesn't count. He said that.
Okay. Every single day doesn't seem like a good fitness plan. You should have 2 rest days in there.
Well, I guess that's the weekend. So I'm guessing he means 5 days a week, but
Okay.
That's what he said every day. That's what he said. He also said is going to have new grooming standards, which were the standard when I was in the military, but it changes constantly. This is one of those things that changes. It goes up and down, up and down. He said, no more beardos. He's like, if you want to have a beard, then go join a SEAL team. And you have to be in Afghanistan as a SEAL or as a special forces person if you want to grow a beard.
Okay.
Fine. I will say I was on a base, I don't know, a couple months ago helping your dad do something. And the standards have definitely changed. I can see it. They do look a little more raggedy than they used to because they have softened the standards on hair and facial hair and all of that stuff. So we're going back to the military, much look clean cut professional like it did in the 90s. And clearly that's when he went in. And so he thinks that was the best time to be in the military, clearly.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. And then he where did I go? He called it the broken window theory with the beards, right? That happened in New York. So if you had a broken window, they were going to hold you accountable for that because crime rates would go down if you didn't have broken windows. And so we're thinking you're going to be more militarily ready if you don't look like a slob. So no more beards.
Broken window policy. That would be an interesting subject for a podcast. Sure. Because there's a lot of different thoughts on how that worked. But it's an interesting time to align yourself with Rudy Giuliani, I will say.
True enough. And then he said that uncompromising standards, that's not toxic. That's not toxicity to have uncompromising standards. He really, he seems to think that the old school, beating each other up, bullying each other, hazing each other within reason, right? Within the limits of the law, we should be doing that. We shouldn't have got rid of any of that stuff. We should get to be mean to each other again.
Is that what you think with uncompromising standards, or is there something else about those hazing a?
He actually says that later on, but we're talking here about weight, physical training, all of that stuff, grooming. He just wants you to know that he doesn't think that that's toxic behavior. And then he quotes Thomas Jefferson, and this is kind of, maybe you can pull up the Declaration of Independence for a second if you don't mind.
Done.
Oh, cool. And he said, real toxicity, because again, standards is not toxicity. Real toxicity is promoting destructive ideologies that are anathema. It's a weird word. Anathema to Constitution to the Constitution and the laws of nature and nature's God, which I was, the word anathema, which I'm not familiar with this word, but it basically
Anathema.
means anathema. Okay, thank you. Which basically is like, it's a detestable thing. It's a curse. It's the worst thing ever. So he thinks destructive ideologies are the worst thing ever to the Constitution, the laws of nature, and nature's God. So again, he thinks, I guess, being transgender, being loose about any of these standards, being overweight, being, not fully in this, machismo mind space, that's the real curse. Okay, so it's in like the first paragraph, actually.
Okay.
So
what are we looking for?
The anathema. Let's see. It's right there.
Anathema.
Anathema. Within the course of human events, go ahead.
When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation.
I thought it was. Yeah, I thought that was it right there.
I don't think anathema is in the Declaration of Independence, unless I'm spelling it wrong.
No, you're not. But he does mention, what is it? God's, or the laws of nature and nature's God, which he then goes on to talk about, right there, endowed by the Creator with the inalienable rights of life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and that to secure these rights, the government are instituted among men, deriving their power from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the rights of the people to alter or to abolish or to institute a new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such a form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. So safety, happiness, the pursuit of happiness, life, and liberty. So these, to me, when you're talking about, this is what I get out of the idea of the laws of nature and nature's God, is that we're talking about, again, your right to live, your right to, I guess, get a job so that you can pay for so you can have a house, your right to have a house, your right to food, your right to health care, your right to safety, those types of things is the way that I took nature's laws, because there's just certain things that you need at all times, right? You need shelter, you need food,
Mm-hmm.
you need to just survive. And so the idea that he thinks, I don't even know what he thinks here. The destructive ideologies, again, I mean, I'm telling you, men in dresses, that kind of stuff, is the real danger to the Constitution.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with that and why he felt like putting it in there. It just makes me uncomfortable.
That I don't know if I'm fully grasping your point. His need to point to like trans service members as the problem, or
well, yeah, and a culture that is just okay with supporting those ideas in the military, right? Just that's the real problem is that we're softening everybody up by being inclusive, and that is dangerous to the Constitution. That is, despicable. And somehow, again, I don't know what he thinks the laws of nature and nature's God are, but I took them to mean more of the life, liberty, safety, happiness kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's my misinterpretation of what that might mean.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think he probably thinks that the laws of nature are that you're born a man or you're born a woman. That's probably something like what he's thinking with that.
Or that women belong at home raising babies.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's certainly along the lines. I mean, it is interesting. Like it is. What has he said? What his opinion on female service members
He has. He will. He basically, again, he says he's not kicking all the women out. He doesn't care if you're. I'll get there because I'm almost there. It's just you have to be as good as a man in all things. Okay, so then I said what we were talking about, the uncompromising standards. Uncompromising standards is not toxic. So then he goes into investigating hazing and bullying is a bad thing. Basically, they're gonna kind of limit the amount of if people want to report anonymously. He seems to be pretty against anonymous reporting. Whatever your grievances are online,
that
he's
makes
over
sense
that.
given his sexual assault accusation.
Yeah. And so, he doesn't want to investigate that stuff so much anymore. It's got to basically be egregious to be bothered with it. He thinks everybody's whining. Hi, Barbie. He says he wants to return to a standard that existed before 2015, which is when he feels like they changed everything to accommodate women. I mean, I was in 1995 and I didn't feel not accommodated. I didn't feel fully accommodated, but I didn't desire to be, you know what I mean? I still felt accommodated enough for the situation. So I don't know what he thinks happened in 2015 that overly accommodated women when women are still getting regularly raped, in the military. So I don't know exactly what he's talking about here, but he literally says when there were changes to accommodate women, he literally said that. And then he has another test. So we had his litmus test, which was, does he want his 15-year-old son to be there? Now we move down to what he calls the 1990 test, which is, what were the standards in 1990 and why did they change? And, basically you need to rationalize why that change was valid. Otherwise, back to the 1990 standards. And then he had another test, which he calls the E603 test. So E6 and 03 are ranks. E6 is an enlisted rank and 03 is an officer rank. And he says, does what you're doing make leadership and lethality of the E6 easier or more complicated? So is your job, and particularly your lethality at your job, easier or harder based on whatever rules have been put down? Which
so that seems like let's end oversight type of policy.
Right. And then
it's getting worse. The speech is getting worse.
It's getting worse. And then he says he does not care if you're a man or a woman, but basically if a woman wants to be in any of these combat type of, even though he says no women in combat earlier, male only, really he's saying it's a male standard only. So there will be a handful of women that might rise to the occasion and be able to outdo men. But he also said some men aren't going to meet this standard. And so basically bye to them.
Yeah.
And then he says lethal a bunch of times, lethal. He didn't really, he said some other stuff, but basically he used the word lethal a lot. And then he said he is done with the walking on eggshells policies that have been existing. He says he wants the military to stop being risk averse and no more frivolous anonymous complaints. He says racism and sexual harassment are still illegal. They've always been illegal. They still are going to be. So don't get your panties in a twist about that. But basically, if you complain about anything else that he deems frivolous, so these better be some egregious racism and real sexual harassment, not, somebody said something I didn't like. They made me uncomfortable. Making somebody uncomfortable is probably not going to be enough anymore. So, yeah, he just wants everybody to be dickheads again. Open dickheads. And he also wants to clear people's records of infractions that might have been around any of this stuff.
Okay.
And now promotions will be based on merit at every level. So he doesn't care if you're an admiral or if you're, a seaman recruit. Everybody's is merit based. Not we need to promote this many women. We need to promote this many people of color. None of that stuff. Merit only. I'd be interested to see how that shakes out, because I feel like it's not going to shake out the way he thinks it's going to shake out.
Well, yeah, I mean this is just what's most infuriating about so many of these conversations is that they dress so many of their arguments in meritocracy, but they are walking, talking examples of the opposite of meritocracy. Pete Hegseth was a fucking Fox News host. Okay, he was not a high-ranking military official. He was in the military for like what, 6 years? I mean,
Probably, yeah.
this guy has no business talking to any of these fucking generals, and yet he is talking about meritocracy. This everyone in the fucking administration, the merit upon which they stand is the merit of their loyalty to their God King. So this is not, when they're talking about meritocracy, it just makes it so hard to believe as somebody that doesn't like these people. But it's so hard to argue against because meritocracy is, on the face of it, a pretty agreeable idea.
Absolutely.
If you implemented actual standards for ensuring meritocracy, then it would be a defensible position to take. But they're using these vagaries, and we have so much research about bias in the workplace, about unfair promotion. If it's all going to be qualitative by the people above you, then you're going to see implicit bias seep its little tendrils into promotion within the military, and that will not be meritocracy. And the whole argument against the old way of doing things is that it was not effectively serving meritocracy. Everyone is sort of arguing for the same thing, and everyone is applying their concept of merit-based differently. And really, if you want to try and do what Pete Hegseth wants to do, then you need some sort of blind evaluation criteria. You need outside evaluators, you need name changes, you need, E6 number 1 has these credentials, E6 number 2 has these credentials. You can't have a name in there,
I will say that at least in the Navy, that is sort of how it goes, right? So, well, particularly for chief, right? When you go from E6 to E7, you're becoming a chief. It's kind of a big deal in the Navy. And you submit a package. And in that package, so I will say the ranks below that, E6 and below, you literally take a test. So that score that you get on the test, plus, your time in service, make sure, your physical fitness test scores are, passing, or, there's different levels, like excellent, good, fair.
Yeah.
You want to at least be good. And then, you might have some awards and things like that you can throw in there. And then when you're going to become a chief, you no longer have that test. And instead they look at the totality of your record, the types of ships you've gone to, the types of duty you've done, the types of leadership you've had. So I think they really do try.
Who looks at that?
Fair enough.
And is your name on the packet? Because Robert is going to receive different consideration than Jamal. And that is the problem.
Yeah.
You can maybe.
But in this system,
in certain cases,
even more so, it feels like it. Yeah, because I don't think they take your name off when they do it.
I don't think that if you truly want it to be blind, meritocratic promotions, that is defensible, but it comes off as totally absurd coming from Pete Hegseth. I mean, yeah, and
it's a fair point. It's better than a fair point.
It's also just it's particularly depressing to hear about complaints about reporting and anonymous reporting from a man that paid $50,000 to a woman that reported him to the police for sexual assault. So it's just what is going on?
Well, I mean, he would want that cleaned off of his record. So, and then he started bringing up something about World War II, where they did a bunch of reforms then as well because it was wartime. which I'm like, why
Mhm.
do you keep bringing up it's wartime? Why do you keep bringing that up? You know, in World
Oh,
War
yeah.
II, we did all of this and it was great. It made us, undefeatable. I'm like,
Mm.
okay, it's just he just every now and again he'd wiggle something in there that would kind of throw up a little red flag for me. He also said, "We all serve at the pleasure of the president." Like, oh, I mean, yes and no, but okay. He said that you know people have been fired if they don't fit the culture, and they will continue to be fired if they don't fit the culture. Um, if they are incapable of what's required of them, and they might embarrass the War Department, and if they just want to freely leave, he'll allow it, because they will get fired. So it did seem like he was threatening them a little bit. It wasn't, again, he's doing this in the TED Talk style where he's wandering around the stage, getting through all of his talking points. So
Mhm.
it wasn't like you will be fired, but it was more like, yeah, this is what's going to happen, basically matter of factly, that the way that he said it.
Sure.
And yeah, he said basically leave if this doesn't warm your heart. If you hear what I'm saying and you're getting a feeling other than your heart being warmed, this isn't for you. We aren't your culture. See yourself out. And then he said that there has been some positive changes with regards to how military people are allowed to interact on the internet, which I'm not familiar with. I
Mhm.
knew, social media wasn't really a thing when I was in. It was kind of starting to, but not really. And so, generally speaking, you're not supposed to be doing stuff in your uniform. You're not supposed to be doing political related things in
Mhm.
uniform, because it's almost as if you're speaking for the military. But it seems like that has softened. I've seen lots of people doing stuff in their uniform that
Yeah.
I didn't see before. And it seems like we're going back. You can no longer have opinions as a person in uniform. And possibly, I'm concerned that you're not allowed to have an opinion as an active duty military person, even not in a uniform. That's where I'm like, what exactly are you trying to say? I'm wondering if we're now at that point, because
That was always kind of the case, wasn't it?
yes, it always did feel, but again, I feel like it's softened more
Mhm.
recently, and so it feels like we're going back to, basically you don't have opinions. You are not an independent person. You're not a civilian. We own you, and you know any thoughts that don't align with what we say, you must keep on the inside.
Yeah.
So yeah, he said no more online whining, and then he started going off about training, and it was confusing what he said, because he said that we're always training and maintaining. So, but then he said that there'll be less training, so, and less PowerPoints, but then also more training. So he wants everybody to be constantly training and maintaining the equipment, and then but also less training. So I think what he's saying is he doesn't want as much classroom training, no more PowerPoint presentations, no more mandatory sexual harassment training, no more how to interact with people, none of that stuff. It's all, you're going to be downrange, you're going to be on the range training with weapons.
Mhm.
Um, and he kind of basically implied that basic training is going to be getting scary again, and that they're going to be allowed to put their hands on recruits. Not that they're allowed to beat up recruits, but basically you can shove recruits around again. You no longer have to be concerned about hurting their feelings or hurting them at all, which was obviously yucky, because recruits are just learning how to be in the military. And if you're telling them, basically, if you're going to bully them and beat them up and say this is the culture, and if you want to survive, you also have to bully and beat people up, then we're all turning into, you know, Trumps.
Mhm.
Basically, which, I mean, it's not cool. It used to, I don't know, the idea of being in the military and having a protective nature, and that if you are fighting, it's for something important like democracy and freedom and all of this stuff. This feels like it's something else. That's not what we're fighting for anymore. Because at no point did he say any of that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's interesting to hear you talk about it because, I mean, obviously, I have some understanding of the military, but like, I suspect that to an outsider, a lot of what he's describing is like vaguely agreeable, right? Yeah, I do want my
Yeah.
military to be fit. You know, I do. And they should be like boot camp should be like scary. You know, that's what you expect from boot camp is that it's scary and that
I thought boot
it's
camp
like
was
it's gonna.
easy.
You've always said that, but not everyone thought
Yeah.
that.
No,
That
definitely didn't.
it's supposed to be scary and it's supposed to like break you and then build you into a warrior, you know, like that this is certainly what outsiders think of this process, but also outsiders think that everyone in the military is, you know, firing guns. So um it's
To that point, that is now what they will be doing. This now says everyone is a fighting soldier. Doesn't matter if you're an admiral. It doesn't matter if you're a person that sits at a desk all day long. You will now be a fighting soldier. Everybody must be a fighting soldier. I don't fully object to that. It's just the way that he said it, because I was not a fighting soldier. Again, I worked in a library, technical library, giving people blueprints all day long, and I was an electronics technician that was repairing test equipment and stuff like that. So I wasn't a fighting person, but there are times when everybody does need to have some basic level of that.
sure.
I guess. Like I don't object to it, but simultaneously it seems weird to suggest that a high-ranking general or admiral needs to be ready to shoot a machine gun, you know? I mean,
There
it's
are
just
parts of this that really feel like how an enlisted member would want to run the military, right? Like there are parts of this where you're like, yeah, fuck the officers. They're, you know, they're fat pricks that don't have to, you know, do all the stuff that we do. Like I could see enlisted members kind of loving that the generals have to pass PT stuff now and have to, you know, be trained for war. I could see liking that. But yeah, I am interested in like what's the war that we're prepping to get into, right?
yeah,
Trump
because
said some interesting stuff about Israel. Um, you know, that he's changed his tune on Ukraine. We haven't heard anything about Greenland and Canada, so probably they're doing secret operations there
he
now.
did say something about Canada during this,
He did.
just a little bit. I don't know if I wrote it down, but that just a little bit. Let's see. So yes, everyone's a fighting soldier, and then he says that the U.S. has won every war since 1947, which was when, I'm sorry, I said that completely wrong. It says the US hasn't won a war, has not won a war since 1947, which was when they became the Department of Defense. So he's basically rationalizing why we are now the Department of War. Somehow
Okay.
changing the name has made us less effective.
Mm-hmm.
It says, except for the Gulf War in 1991. And then he brings up how the leadership during the Gulf War were people who were around during Vietnam. So they were battlefield tested, the ones that were in charge during the Gulf War. And basically nobody that's here anymore really is battlefield tested. Not really. That's basically what he's saying. So he just wants everybody ready.
I'm sorry, weren't we just in a war for 20 years?
I mean, sort of. I mean, yes and no.
Okay.
It wasn't really like it's like the war on terrorism just feels so generalized and also not real. And
Yeah, but everyone was getting deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. Everyone in the army was getting deployed there. That was a war. It was not, you know, there wasn't, people weren't conscripted, right? It was not, it wasn't Vietnam, but I mean, it was a war. Like, I don't know.
And then from there, again, because he wants these battle nice guy. Then he wants these, again, these battle tested leadership. And so then he said that he wanted no more politically correct wars with the enemy. So no more just, I don't know, gentle, considerate wars. I don't even really know what he's talking about. He wants maximum lethality and authority. Again, lethality, lethal.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's concerning.
He said, today is another liberation day for America's warriors. We're removing the yoke of wokeness and politically correctness and getting back to maximum lethality. And then he said that our military, our soldiers, everybody's now a fighting soldier, that you kill and break things for a living. that's how he views the military, as we
Mhm.
kill and break things for a living. And lethality is our calling card. This is the shit he said. And that was pretty much it. That's kind of where we left off.
Okay. Well, look, I mean, the PC war thing concerns me, right? Because what can possibly be seen through the lens of PC with respect to our engagement in wars abroad?
I mean, I guess we don't
Caring about caring about collateral
children,
damage.
collateral
Yeah,
damage,
caring about
hospitals, churches,
civilians, hospital, yeah, the Geneva
schools.
Convention, the woke Geneva Conventions. Like, there's just there's definitely an element of concern in there, especially if you looked at the Gaza peace plan that Trump proposed, which looked it really reminded me of that time that he decided that he was going to change what direction a hurricane was going to go. Do you remember that? Where
Yeah.
he drew a new path for a hurricane. Like, it was just kind of a goofy map. And what he and Netanyahu are saying is, like, this is the final offer to Hamas, and if Hamas doesn't accept, then Netanyahu will have my full support and will have U.S. backing to finish the job. And is this a harbinger for how we're going to conduct ourselves if we get involved in that? If we're more directly involved in that, is just like, this is about destroying shit and being lethal, and we're about to just wipe Gaza off the face of the planet and
Yeah.
repave it for Trump golf course.
I just I left the whole thing, and I messaged it to your dad. Yeah, there's this expression. It's in the Army in particular. When you're in boot camp, you can't call your rifle a gun, right? So they would say, if you did, you'd be marching around as punishment. You'd be saying, "This is my rifle. This is my gun. This is for fighting. This is for fun." You'd have to grab your crotch for "This is for fun," because that's your gun,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And when I listened to this speech, I just felt like when Pete Hegseth jerks off, he shouts, "This is my rifle. This is my gun," over and over again. Like, this just, I said to you, he just wants to spooge all over the enemy. That's how I feel about it. It felt too much like this machismo. Just, I want to, yeah, I want lethality. Lethal means you die. Somebody dies. That's what lethal means. He wants dead bodies that he has spooged upon everywhere. That's what he wants.
Yeah, no, I mean,
women
it
can't
is.
spooge, so what are they doing there?
We must spooge upon the enemy in the name of our draft dodger king. I mean, that's just really what's going on here. I mean, look, a military is a military, right? It is for defense, in that it's for deterrence, right?
Sure.
Having a powerful military is essentially a threat of, don't fuck with me. So there is an element of, you want to maintain the auspices of deterrence. That is an element. But the only thing that you can really interpret him getting at with a lot of these things is that we are redirecting the purpose of the military towards a more imperial type of mentality, a more outside interventionist type of mentality, which is confusing because I thought the Republicans were isolationists. I thought I thought that they were all angry at our over involvement overseas economically, let alone getting ourselves involved in wars. I mean, maybe we launch ourselves into a war with China. That'd be a good time. So,
Interestingly, China was one of the few things that did not get mentioned, because Trump spoke immediately after Pete Hegseth. It was like 45 minutes of Pete Hegseth, and then an hour and 15 minutes of Trump's rambling nonsense. And I took notes, and they are taken in a rambling fashion. So like it starts here.
Well, show the Pete Hegseth notes first, and then show the Trump ones by comparison.
Okay, yeah, I will, because I mean I just read all that Pete Hegseth book. Let's see. Here's my Pete Hegseth notes start. So my Pete Hegseth, look, everything's in straight lines. At least, I'm writing on the lines. I've circled and underlined things. It's it's relatively organized and easy to follow. And then I get to the Trump one, and it's like that because that's the way he talks.
I mean, it looks like a dementia test, Mom. It fully is like they said draw a clock, and you missed the left side of the page on one of them. Like,
oh my God. It was so, I mean, listen, it was his standard nonsense. It really was. And then you could tell that there was a teleprompter with a speech on it that he would occasionally go back to, get back on track, and then get sidetracked again with whatever they said. And then back on.
Was working.
Yeah. So, I mean, so it's his standard nonsense, talking about submarines at first, and then, the N word, which is nuclear, which you're not allowed to say, apparently. Then he went into the auto pen for no reason. And then, how Trump has ended wars, how he should have the Nobel Peace Prize, how a tariff is his favorite word. Then he starts going off about battleships and that he might want to have battleships again, and that they'll be made of steel, not aluminum. And that they're going to have, and then he brings up merit, and then 19 more ships that we're going to have 19 more ships, which we haven't had a significant number of new ships in a while. And I was confused about this aluminum and steel thing, but we do have a class of ship that is aluminum because aluminum's lighter and it can move faster. And it's the LCS, which are the really stealthy looking ships. He clearly doesn't like them because he brings up how ugly stealth ships are. He thinks stealth fighters are not ugly, but stealth ships are ugly. Super important, right? For defending the country. How ugly is the ship? Then how he obliterated Iran's nukes, and then about how the military is getting a 3.8% pay raise, and no Democrat has ever given a 3.8% pay raise, but the last two pay raises when Biden was president were more than that. Then he's how corrupt the press is, and then the invasion from within, which of course is important, right, and concerning, because when you're worried, like, why are we amping up the military so aggressively? And then he starts talking about the invasion from within, and how immigrants from the Congo and Venezuelan prisons are just being dumped in America, and how DC is unsafe, and how they got 1,700 criminals taken out of DC because of what he did with the National Guard, and how Dems are running dangerous cities, and that he would like to use Chicago as a training ground for the military. So this is when he said that stuff. We've got plenty of his standard nonsense mixed in here, but occasionally, something that, because we are talking to a bunch of military people that are like, why the hell am I here? This is what he wants to talk about, is using Chicago as a training ground. And then Portland's a war zone. The place is burning down. If they spit, we hit. People were throwing bricks at ICE. And now basically if you do that, they've got full authority to do whatever they want. That how they've taken out 4 boats in Venezuela, and that each of those kills 2,500 people with fentanyl, and that 300,000 people died last year because of Venezuelan fentanyl. That we've got enemies, foreign and domestic, and believe me, there's some domestic, enemies here. And then he starts going off about career criminals and how maybe they were born that way. And then what a great job he did with COVID, randomly worked in there. So you understand why I wrote the notes the way that I did. This is the order in which he said this stuff.
Yeah. Well, and just to do some quick fact checking, fentanyl is estimated to kill about 50,000 people per year in the U.S., and most of it is from China. So.
Those were not Trump's numbers, just to be clear.
No, well, he's not a great numbers guy.
No,
he's good at materials. He likes mahogany.
He does not like aluminum.
Marble. He does not like aluminum.
Or
No.
terrazzo. No terrazzo.
No, Taraz. Is he? I think. Okay. Have you seen this thing that the Republicans have been saying that Pete Buttigieg is faking being gay?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think Trump might be faking not being gay. I
Dude,
think.
the number of gay things he said, because I didn't even say the very first thing he said when he got out on the stage was, first he's like, hey, you guys are allowed to be excited, right? Because this is not a rally he's at, right? He's got a bunch of military leaders thinking this is a serious thing that they're sitting there. And then he says, also, oh God, what's the words he used? Central casting. He's like, ooh, and you're all out of central casting. Like, as if all of these military admirals and generals are so hot and sexy, right out of central casting. He said,
Oh my gosh. And then he said, and I don't like stealth ships. They're ugly. So.
and he said stuff like that all the time. And if I continue to read this, at some point he talks about how hot we are as a country. We're the hottest country. We're so hot. We were a dead country, last year, 4 years ago under Biden, but now we're the hottest. We're the hottest. I'm like, you are so gay. He constantly talks about how handsome various people are.
There's a bit here for sure. There's if you
Arnold
just
Palmer's
read what Trump
giant
says. Oh man, Arnold Palmer.
He's so gay.
That really would be an interesting timeline. Is Pete Buttigieg comes out as straight and Trump comes out as gay? That would be
so weird. And
Tucker,
that thing with Pete Buttigieg, it was Tucker Carlson, and
of course,
Tucker Carlson wants to quiz Pete Buttigieg on sexual
on
positions,
gay sex, and it's like, what have you been researching, Tucker?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, it's not that complicated, and second of all,
yeah. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't have pegged him as a gay man, pun intended. I would like. I mean, his name is Tucker, so if anything, he'd be a trans woman.
He wears a bow tie.
He does wear a bow tie. Yeah. You want to play Time Guesser?
Let's play Time Guesser. Because listen, everybody knows the nonsense that Trump says all of the time. I didn't even get through half of it, but you've all heard it. Yeah,
it's never surprising. To the point. I mean, we're so desensitized.
And along the lines of being desensitized by, oh my gosh, I feel like I know when this is.
It's kind of beautiful.
By Trump, I really think we need to get to a point where we stop talking about Trump. When we very first started this podcast, we didn't talk about Trump at all. It was like the rule. You're not allowed to say his name. I just wish everybody would get back to that. If we all ignore him and stop giving him attention, and then we can start to get Congress to start ignoring him and not giving him attention, because he only has whatever power they let him have. And I just can't have him living rent-free in my brain anymore. Not that we can ignore what's happening. We can't. I just think we can't talk about him in particular. No more talking about Jeffrey Epstein's former best friend. Okay, let's see. So we clearly have a problem here with a bunch of what do we call these things?
Storage crates.
What are they called? Gosh, is it 2014, 2007, somewhere in there?
Do you think this is in Asia?
Well, no, but I don't know where it is. Oh, you're right. Where is it?
Seeing Namsung, and I'm seeing Dongyung.
Klein, but they're all written in American lettering, not American,
That's true.
But English lettering. How do you say that?
There's some Asian lettering up here, but and K-line. I've seen K-line.
Can we look at those yellow? I don't know. I guess that would probably be a crane or something. Is there any clues on there? No. Gosh, I feel like I should know when this happened.
Shiogamako Unso Limited.
I literally cannot remember where this happened or when this happened.
Yeah, I mean, my first thought was that it was like the Suez Canal thing, but it's clearly on land.
The Panama Canal or the Suez Canal?
Oh, the Panama Canal, sorry.
Yeah, it being on land also throws me. Well, I guess we're assuming it's on land. This could still be. I mean, that is way too much to be on a ship.
Well, it's like it's a dock. Yeah, no, I mean this
Yeah.
would not be. I don't know.
How
I
did
kind
that
of want to say
happen
like
at a dock?
I want to say Japan or Singapore or something. Like
All right, I feel like guess anywhere because I feel like I'm not going to be able to pin. I cannot remember.
I'm gonna say Busan. They look like they got some docks. Yeah. Okay, Busan, 2015.
Yeah, let's go with that because no idea.
2011, Japan.
Oh, wow. We didn't do terrible there.
I mean that was pretty good with no clues. Okay, Vietnam maybe.
How can we tell that? Can we
Well,
zoom
it
in on
says
this?
Vietnam.
Oh, it does say Vietnam.
But I don't know. Nguyet Liet Chao Mung Dai Hui Vi Dang Kong San Vietnam.
What is that flag? Is that Russia? No, Turkey.
Well, it's a hammer and sickle.
Yeah.
What do you see a flag somewhere?
No, that's what I meant. Is that I didn't think that's what Vietnam's flag was.
Well, it's not. I don't think it's a flag. I think it's just the Communist Party.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Um,
this is very black and white. People riding on bicycles. That doesn't tell me anything. They are adorable.
I mean,
Look at his little safari hat.
they're looking fresh as hell, dude. I mean, this is like
Okay, let's look at this car. That
that
might give
car.
us.
Yeah, so this is like 60s. Wait, when was the Vietnam War? Early 60s, late 60s.
It was the 60s and into the 70s, I think a little bit.
Okay, so like early 60s could be.
No.
Well, I'm sorry. 60s. No. Early 60s could be when the Communist Party is in power or has taken a hold because, there was time before we got involved, and this doesn't exactly look war-torn yet.
That car.
You think that car is too modern?
I don't know. I'm struggling with it because it's such a generic shape of car.
Yeah, and that car is so well, and there was that period where cars all became identical.
Yeah.
Which I think of as the 70s, but I would be amazed if this was the 70s.
But the 60s also, and the 80s, just did slightly different variations on the theme. Yeah, let's go with the 60s though, as I ponder it.
Okay, and then I think North Vietnam was the more communist area. So 63, 62.
Let's go with it.
Okay, and then oh no, Vietnam. Was it? Okay, wait. Where did we? Because we were in Ho Chi Minh. Wait, were we in the north of Vietnam and we were fighting south, or we were in the south and we were fighting north?
I don't know. I wasn't born until 1975. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna say Hanoi.
I think Hanoi is
Hanoi. Oh my gosh, I was 4 blocks off.
Oh my gosh,
1986.
86, man. Honestly, that car, I wanted to say 80s, but I just talked myself out of it because I'm like, I feel like the 70s, they were, or, the 60s,
it's so black and
bigger.
It's so black and white. There's really no electronics.
Myself out of it. I talked myself out of the 80s because it was black and white.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a bummer. Okay, Napoleon statue.
France. White horse, perfume cigar.
Yeah, France.
Engraving. Well, that's in English.
Foreningen.
Oh wait, Foreningen. That's weird. Why is the end back? Oh no, it's not. Well, now you've thrown me off.
Yeah, no, it's confusing.
Let's look at the bus.
The bus? Oh.
Yeah. Is there anything on the bus?
SS.
Okay. Ingang. Well, I don't think that's French.
No, it doesn't seem like it's French at all.
No. So maybe that's not Napoleon.
Yeah, you're right.
Napoleon-esque, though.
It's super Napoleon-esque. Perfumery, Seger, White Horse.
Well, that's French.
Base de Registret, Har, Postartat. Less. Schweischab.
What the hell does all that mean?
Stockholm.
Okay, Sweden.
Wow. That was a surprise. Okay, now era.
Okay, people are in dresses still. Ooh, look at that car. So 50s potentially or 60s. Let's see.
Oh wait. Oh wait, is this a set?
Well, that would
the
be
thing
cheap.
that this is attached to.
It's just a crane, isn't it?
But it's a car that's attached to a crane. It's a tiny little car.
Well, that's pretty weird.
Lady walking a dog. Man walking a dog.
She's got her arms out.
Lady walking a dog.
Sensible shoes. Are you questioning whether that's a lady?
I thought that she had a mustache.
No sneakers. You thought she had a mustache.
I'm sorry. Does it not look a little bit? Come on. She's not alive. That looks kind of like a mustache. I don't know. It's fine. It's a lady. All right.
It's fine. It's fine.
50s?
I'm thinking. I'm trying to decide if I feel 50s or 60s about it. I mean, those are some older cars, though.
Yeah.
But I still, for some reason, I don't know. I want to just go early 60s or late 50s.
Okay. Let's say 59.
Okay.
In Stockholm. And we're right on the water.
I do like making you look at hairdos and shoes, though. I'm just going to decide eras based on hair and shoes and cars.
Sorry.
Where's this little statue? Let's see.
Could it be over here?
Cafe. Is it on the other side of the water? Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking for like the green space.
I don't know if it's exactly a park per se. It's a big.
But this, yeah. Royal Palace, Royal Swedish Opera, National Museum. That's a museum. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say it's by City Hall.
Sure.
53. Pretty good.
Yep. Outdoor cafe surrounded by the statue. Oh, it's gone.
Oh, sorry.
How dare you? Okay.
They're playing football.
We're playing football. Look at our shoes. We don't even have real sneakers, but we do have shin guards, so that's important. I guess they're cleats. Maybe they are wearing cleats.
Yeah. CNTF.
I don't know.
And then are some of these dudes supposed to be recognizable?
It's my grandpa. Kicking a ball. Okay, there's this. Oh, this is Guaya in the back. Doble. The Guaya? I don't know what the other word is behind his head. Sinza,
yeah. Not a lot to go. Oh, Novida.
So I'm going to guess maybe we're somewhere in South America, maybe.
So that, I mean, you'd think like Argentina, Brazil.
Yeah.
For that. I mean, it is so old.
So old.
Although that's a very fun tie.
Flashy.
And those shorts are riding up.
Yep. He probably doesn't have proper undergarments on.
No, probably not.
Is that a whistle? I don't know what he's got.
I think he's got a whistle, yeah.
Cute little stands. Dude, I don't know.
God, the pinstripe suits. This is like when was
Do you want to go with the 20s, the 1920s?
That seems right.
Maybe slightly earlier.
Buenos Aires or Sao Paulo?
I don't care.
Well, yeah, let's look at this again. CNNTF. CN. Colombia? Doesn't really makes sense.
What about the F part?
Yeah, I mean, it could also be a visiting team. I mean, these are, I guess that guy could be Hispanic, but these all look like whites. I think it's Argentina
Okay.
on the basis of white.
Don't
So I'm going to
cry
say
on me,
Buenos Aires.
Argentina.
And then we want to say 1920s.
Yeah.
Okay. Just real quick, find a football stadium. Just real quick. Or soccer. Sorry, America.
Go up, right there. Club Ciudad de Buenos Aires. Right there.
Hey. Yeah, let's just say that.
I mean, it's probably not in Buenos Aires. I don't know why we're committed so hard to actually being in the football club, but that's the football club.
Okay. 1922?
Yeah. 44,
Oh,
really?
it's probably not in Buenos Aires. It's pretty close.
It's in Uruguay. Maybe.
It's
Is it in Uruguay?
pretty close.
Yeah,
I mean, look
Uruguay.
at it in the scale of South America, though. Look at how close.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. 1944. All right.
I would not have guessed that late.
All right, last one. We know where we are. We're at the Lincoln Memorial.
We are indeed. What if Anna Amanda's in this picture? She's that one. She's that one. Right there. Right there. Go down. Right there. Is that Anna Amanda? No, it's not Anna Amanda.
Okay, so based on hairstyles, we think 50s, 40s.
Well, okay. Well, this one to the left, right here. Can we look at her a little bit more on the bottom?
This one?
Oh, she's got pants on. She's got denim on. No, not her, but I'm going 70s. We're wearing pants.
70s. Oh yeah, I mean, look at that collar.
Boom.
Okay, let me just bear. Women had hair like this in the 70s.
I mean, older. Yeah, they did. Older women. You see how the younger women aren't. See how the younger women have their hair down and long, right?
Yeah, true. Why is it black and white?
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't have to. Maybe it could be 60. We could say it's the 60s if you want.
No, I'm cool with 70s. Say 71.
There you go.
All right. Test my.
So many white shoes.
The memorial is. Where? There it is. $76.
Nice.
5,000 on location. They made that one kind of easy.
They did.
33,000, not bad.
Not our highest, not our worst.
But guess what?
What?
Now we're going to play New York Times games.
Oh, I've not played any New York Times games.
I love them so much. How do I find? Oh,
gosh, I watched the whole thing about these the other day.
They're so good. I mean, my favorite one is Connection. Let's see, archive.
Do the stars mean you've already done those ones?
It does, but it's not showing the. I've done more than these two. We're in October. That's why. Okay, I got games just recently, so let's play the 24th.
What is the concept?
Okay.
How do these things relate to each other? That kind of thing.
It's 4 groups of 4, and like very often there will be one category that isn't exactly right that is actually split among the 4. So like one I did recently had up, down, left, right in there, but they were actually each one was a part of a different category. So that's sort of what you're figuring it out. But it'll be things like one of the categories the other day was grand blank, and so rapids, canyon, jury, and there's another one. Slam. Were all in one category because it was Grand Slam, Grand Jury, Grand Rapids, Grand Canyon.
Okay, I've got one group already in my mind here. So
okay.
picture, flick, feature, and film.
Oh, yeah, done. That's probably going to be the easy category. Yellow. Okay, so it's the second easiest category.
Okay.
When you get really into it, you try and get the purple category first, but that really just means that you find the other three first. But you don't select them. Okay. Prune.
Some of these other ones are confusing me. Because it's like I can put a couple of new. Okay, wait. Okay, so if we put litter, Shar-Pei, tooth. Shoot, I don't know what else would go with that, so maybe not.
Well, what is the category you're thinking of?
Like dogs. So maybe not.
Oh, okay. Pepper, sprinkle, litter, and scatter.
Scatter. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
Strew. Okay.
Potato is a weird one. Potato.
I mean, crepe paper is also insane. Like, what's going on with that?
Yeah, you're right. That doesn't. I can't get that to work with anything. What in the world? And like prune, I'm like, well, is it the fruit or is it to prune something?
Sweet talk, sweet potato, sweet tooth, and sweet 16.
Oh, nice. So these other ones go together? How does prune, crepe paper, Shar-Pei, and brain go together?
Let's see. Wrinkly things.
Okay. Okay,
that's pretty fun. That's pretty fun though, right?
Yeah. Let's do another one.
Let's do one more. Why not? Okay. So certain days are harder and certain days are easier. I haven't actually figured out which ones are which. Okay. Ferris, bumper, roller.
Mary. So yeah, Ferris, bumper, roller, Mary.
What? Ferris wheel, Mary wheel, bumper wheel?
Well, it's a merry-go-round, the bumper
cars, Ferris wheels, roller coaster.
It doesn't like those? Oh, they all go together to me.
Okay, so that might be the
trick
the trick one.
Okay, duffel bag, carry-on bag. Okay, that's all I got. I don't think anything else works. Oh, a roller bag.
Roller bag, hard shell bag.
Maybe. Those are all kinds of luggage.
Yeah. Well, let's try that.
No. Oh, I thought it was
luggage.
Okay.
Okay. Bouncy ball, rubber ball, Indiana ball. Ferris Bueller, Pee Wee Herman, Indiana Jones.
Something with Heather in it? I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Sunny, bright. Mary.
Sunny, bright, Mary. Bouncy?
Bouncy? No. Yes. Okay. Cheerful.
Okay. Heather blue, baby blue. Okay. Rubber baby buggy bumper.
I think you might be right. No? Oh, okay.
That's the category. Rubber baby buggy bumper. All right. Heather, Ferris, Pee Wee, Indiana. Okay, wait. So that is the names of like 90s characters or something? Title characters in 80s movies.
Okay. Okay.
So we actually got that one early, and we didn't select it. That's funny. Okay, one more.
One more.
They're pretty good, right? It's like,
Yeah.
it's a good little brain teaser.
Oh
Okay,
gosh, lots of A words. A words, is that a category? I don't know.
probably not. That's probably the one where there's one in each one. Aria, Excalibur, Encore, Luxor,
What the hell are those?
Casinos in Vegas.
Oh. Thank you, because I was clueless there.
Yeah, we had a class reunion in Vegas. And that's my Vegas experience. I guess also the Dr. Pepper thing.
Volume, length, area, perimeter.
Yep. When you get one of the hard ones early, the game gets a lot easier.
I'm confused. Like, is Oreo mean something other than the cookie?
I mean, so it can mean black and white, black and white, black and white, black and white.
Ah.
And then
I's, O's,
O's, R's.
Okay, that's a weird one.
So that's just like homophones for plural letters. Yeah.
Let's do another one.
All right, this might be Sunday, so this could be a hard one. I don't know.
A hard one.
Okay, I don't think it's going to be hard. Let's see.
Ale tap bar lounge. It seems too obvious that they all go together.
Yeah.
Booth. Oh my gosh, there's so many things that could go together.
Yeah. Okay, so it might actually be a hard one.
Booth, table.
Pink loaf. Quash, pinch.
Scroll. Swipe. I don't know about quash, though.
Scroll, swipe, tap. These are things you can do on a phone.
Okay.
Touch screen gestures. Okay, that's a good one.
The hive throws me a bit. But there's a booth in there as well as an option.
Yeah, but these are all, yeah, all right.
What the heck is a hive in this context?
Chill out, eke out, veg out, loaf out.
I don't know. I've never heard loaf out.
No, I haven't either.
Hive out? That doesn't sound real. Quash out?
That doesn't sound exactly right, but that might end up being the one that is at the end. We're like, oh, okay, we were right. Sometimes they do like words that you can add an S after.
Seek.
So squash, sail, what?
Eek.
Seek. And
shive, that's not a word. Shive. Slove. Spove.
Sveg. Skill. Sickchill. Scounter. Stable.
Ah, there we go.
Fuck. One away. Oh no. That's the worst one. Okay. That means that there's only one that's wrong here. And I don't think squash, stable, is it not?
What else would it be?
I don't know. That's a bummer. Because that means that we kind of got it right, but but I'm not right about the category or something.
Okay. Okay, so if we did booth, what goes with booth? Table.
John Wilkes. Booth.
John Wilkes. Marlene says bar, counter, booth, table. Okay.
Restaurant seating options.
Restaurant
All
seating
right.
option. Thank you, Marlene.
Thanks, Marlene. Okay. Wait. So now we have squash, sail, seek.
I'm so thrown off by the word hive. Can we put hive in there?
Oh wait, squash, kale, leek,
Chive.
chive. Vegetables with first letter removed.
What is that nonsense? So lounge, loaf, veg, and chill.
Oh,
lounge.
of course.
It was
Oh my
lounge.
gosh. Oh my gosh. That was so obvious. That's the easiest one. All right, one more.
Okay, one more.
I don't know why it's so fun. And we just have all of them for like years back. So I mean, all right, duck, dip is dodge and dive, and dodge and dive. Oh my gosh.
All right. Nice.
No, it was the fake category. All right, so those are dodgeball commands.
All right, I'm getting thrown off. Let's see. Wing.
Ram, Dodge, Ford, Lincoln.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. It makes me so mad when they get me with the fake category.
Okay, how about wing, chip, fry, and dip? Or is that not quite right?
What are these?
I don't know. Things you'd find at a Buffalo Wild Wings. I don't know. Oh,
bit of sports bar fare.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So a lark and a duck maybe go together. But then what's the rest? Scraper. Skyscraper. Skydive. Sky flyer.
Rocket.
Skyrocket. Sky flyer. I don't know. Skyrocket. That sounds weird.
Skyrockets. That's real.
Oh.
Skylark.
Skylark. Okay.
Senator, duck, star. Oh, these are hockey teams. All right,
we got all those. We got all those categories. Even we understood what we were doing.
Yeah, no, that was a good one. All right, this is actually the last one.
Okay.
It's so fun. I don't know why. It's just so much better than talking about Pete Hegseth.
Or talking about, again, Jeffrey Epstein's gay best friend. Okay, dye, blush. Oh, wait a minute. We got too many things going on here. Stocking. Oh, these are.
This one's hard.
Sweat. Haze. I can't figure out how to get more than two to go together.
Yeah. Sweat stain, mascara stain. Rate, rank.
I don't think so. Oh, wait. Pace. Weird.
It's like units of success or something. I'm trying it. No, one away. Okay, what doesn't feel like it's in there?
Pace.
Clip. Wait, no.
Okay,
pace
wait,
and
no.
clip.
Pace clip would go together.
Pace, clip, rate. Grade?
No. I almost want to say
Rank?
trail, but then that's too different. So wait, rate?
I think it's rank.
What
I'm
about
not sure.
score? No, wait. Rank, score. Uh-oh, Marlene's got suggestions. Grade. Hold on a second.
Yeah, grade, score, rank.
What? Marlene wrote something about clip art.
Clip art.
And then she said, those are clip art. Something's clip art. What are you talking about?
What?
I don't know. It says, I think she typoed it because it says rows are clip art. But I don't know what that means. Okay. Sorry. So pace,
Pace,
rate,
clip.
clip.
And then it has to be one of these two.
Does it? Because then, but see, like, okay, so if I ask, but also, okay, if you take score, rank, no, not rank, no rank.
Score, grade.
Yeah, score, grade. I thought I had it. I lost it again.
Yeah.
These are weird. Okay, pace, clip. Pace, rate. Should we throw grade in there? Pace, rate, grade, trail? No, I don't know. I'm trying. Are we on a run? I don't know. There's so many run-related things.
I think we're gonna try this. No. Okay. Well, that's just wrong then.
Well, I
Balls.
said trail, but that's okay.
Oh gosh, now I need to pee. Okay, you guys think about it, and I'm gonna go.
I'm going to think about it because score, grade. Score? Okay, what did she say? Well, why would rank, score, rate, rank? Grade. Yeah, maybe. What in the world would you do with fidget? Okay, I think I got one. Also, what do you do with tiger? Tiger. Some of these words just do not go together in a way that I can make sense out of. But I want to put mascara, blush, dye, and stockings together. That's what I want to do. So, Colin, I want to put mascara, blush, dye, and stockings together. One away. One of those is wrong? Okay. Well, I don't know which one it is. I can't hear you, Colin.
Did you get any more information from Marlene?
Oh, yeah, she said score, rate, rank, grade, which I'm not positive, but I'm not terrible. I don't hate it. Score, rate, rank, grade. Ugh,
Evaluate.
evaluate. I can't figure out what in the world you would do with tiger.
Things on your face?
Well, that's more than one away from where we had it before.
Where we had what before?
Well, we had mascara, mascara, dye, blush, and stockings. And one of those is not correct.
Okay, yeah. Well, I would guess it's stockings.
It could be stockings or dye, right? Depending on what exactly is the category. Nose? Do we take stockings out and put nose on there? So weird. Although dye isn't exactly on your face.
Nor stockings.
No, if we took stockings out.
I guess you powder your nose.
Sure.
I don't know. You gotta find something else.
Okay, trail. Okay, so if we put pace, trail, clip, now what? He's running at a clip. He's running on a trail. His pace is running. I don't know. Are his stockings also running? Sometimes stockings run. You get a run in your stockings.
You get a run in your stockings?
Yeah. Your dye can run also. So can your nose. That can run. Shit. We might be on things that run.
Oh. Okay, nose can run. Mascara can run.
Oh, your stockings can run.
Okay.
And dye can run.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay. Things that can run annoyingly. How do stockings run?
You know, like if they get a little, like you get a little tiny hole and then it just turns into a big old line. It's down the whole thing. That's a run in your stockings.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's good for me. Okay. Okay. We're so close. I don't want to lose my streak.
What the hell's tiger?
Paper towel, paper tiger, paper trail, and paper clip.
Oh, there it is, paper. Oh, you know what?
My gosh.
Blush, fidget. Oh, blush, like that kind of like the act of blushing.
Oh yeah, things you do when you're nervous.
Yes.
Exhibit nervousness. That was the easy category. Goodness gracious.
That was the hardest one. I will say one of the things that Trump said, just to bring it back to something that was on this quiz during his long random dementia speech, is he said, "Is Putin a paper tiger?" That was one of the things he said.
Oh wow, that's a good way to wrap it up. Nice.
Yep. Wrap back around. All right. Thanks for keeping us company. This stuff is wearing me out. And while I do think it is very important to be civically aware, politically aware, I just cannot talk about Epstein's close confidant anymore.
Well, let's. I mean, we could do next one week, where we just watch a piece of media or something and just have a good time.
No, but again, I'm just saying. Next week, we've got to find a way to never speak of him in particular. We can talk about the issue without talking about him because fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him.
He needs to be ignored aggressively. Aggressively.
Yeah.
Oh, that old rapscallion, he just says stuff. He's got no power because we didn't give him any. Stop giving your power away. That's why we should just yell at Congress endlessly. That's what we should be doing.
Hey, they shut down the government.
Good. I mean,
yeah.
Well, it's because some people just really need to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
They shut it down for what, like 35 days or something during when Trump was last in office. So, these things do happen, but I don't know how easily people are going to be able to absorb it this time. So, we'll see.
Oh well,
not enough discomfort yet for people to actually act. Fingers crossed.
Next time we don't talk about the guy.
Right. And definitely don't watch an hour and 15 minutes straight of him blathering on. And I was watching him at 1.5 speed because I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah, no.
Why did I make myself do this? Nobody asked me to do this.
I watched his whole RNC speech, and it was just so long. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, that was when I still had hope. Hope that he wouldn't become president.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I still have hope. But it's difficult because we're still at the part where we're relying on our representatives to do their jobs and other people and lawyers and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to take to the streets because who am I taking to the street up against? I'm not fighting my neighbors, not interested in fighting my neighbors. So am I supposed to go, go find the address of my local, not my local, my representative, go knock on his door? He's on vacation right now. Republicans are not in session. They're on vacation. Democrats are still there.
Yeah.
Curious.
Curious. Yeah.
I'm running AOC. If I'm running everything, if you're saying that, then come talk to me. If I control it all, well, then come on. If that's what you think. Come do it. I love her. She's like, all right. All right. I'm getting back on it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go. We've much longer than we normally do.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Apologize for my end rants.
Have a good week. See you next week.
Yeah.